Hey guys, so it's been a crazy couple of weeks, months honestly. I mean, I know it has been for everybody, but I haven't been feeling great and had a lot going on, and it's between, depression, fibromyalgia, and everything else that's going on. I just haven't really made any videos or even honestly worked on a lot of these projects, but we've got a couple of good projects. So here's what we're working on today, and I'm hoping this will be kind of a quick one, but get us started on some of these videos again. So this is some sort of AT I just picked up locally. Excuse the mess everywhere. This is part of the problem. This is an AT form factor case with socket 5 motherboard on it, whatever, you know what I mean. Oops. So I don't know what this motherboard supports. I was told that it works, but the clock battery is bad. So let's see what's in here. Focus. Let's see, I don't recognize the icon index. That looks like a 133 megahertz, probably a 60 megahertz bus, 66 I mean. But the motherboard in this looks super clean. The only issue that I can see on here, I really like that they're all the high quality solid tantalum caps. Well, yes and no. So there are a couple of electrolytics here. Well, okay, let me cut that part of the video out. One thing I notice here though is we've got a benchmark CMOS chip, and this must have been what he was trying to get rid of. In fact, I can feel a bulge on there from the battery starting to go bad. Let me just pry up on this because it almost looked like it had, yeah, it actually already has a socket. I thought this was going to be a video about me putting a socket on this. This might be the easiest repair video ever. So we're going to just pull that out, come over here, sift through this mess. Right, well, hold on. So we're going to come right over here. Some of these are messed up, some of them, this one should be good. So we're going to go ahead. So basically, these Dallas real-time clocks, they have a battery inside that eventually goes bad, and either the entire chip has to be replaced, and I do have a couple that are new old stock that will that have a charge in them still, but in my opinion the better way to fix them is to solder / hot glue on. So basically, I don't even know if this one was one I did or came with a computer I got from somebody, but basically you Dremel down the side in these 2 pin locations and you solder in another battery. This must have been Matt, has the IKEA battery on it. Is that one even going to fit right there? Oh, it probably will if I put it in the right direction, huh? Alright. Let's try this out. It's hard to do while holding the camera. I've forgotten how fun that is. Alright. Well, this might be the easiest get it running again video ever. Let's go ahead and just slap that heatsink back on. I do want some thermal paste on there. It also did not come with a power supply, which is frustrating. These AT power supplies are tough to find. I think I've only got one spare and an adapter, so I'll probably end up having to get another adapter at some point. But for now, this being what it is, I think we're gonna, let's go ahead and take this out. As soon as I sell something, I'll order another couple of adapters. I don't know why the camera does not want to focus, but let me clean this area up a little bit and get a power supply in it, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Well, I don't know what I recorded and what I didn't, but I've hit the wrong button a couple times. So basically we've got the power supply in here, got the power switch hooked up, and now the speaker that came with it had a wire knocked off of it, and I could just use a different one, but I could also just heat up the soldering iron real quick and fix it. But I'm not going to try to do that and hold the camera, because last time I did that I ended up with a scar on my finger. So I'll be right back. Ta-da! And I did the other side again too, just just for the hell of it. See if one side broke off without actually breaking anything, the other side is probably going to break off too, right? Something like that. Alright, back in we go. Ran into our first small hiccup, and that's that I didn't realize when I grabbed it that... So the guy had all the parts kind of laid out. He was just going to sell the motherboard, but ended up throwing in the case with it. But what I didn't notice was that the bay for the floppy drive is missing, which isn't a huge deal. I'll probably just... I mean, it's a nice case, and it'd be cool to have a floppy on it. But you know what also would be cool? Is just not having a floppy. I just don't care. I mean, whatever, dude. I've got 50 other floppies in the room if we need it. So, I guess that brings us to turning it on, but first we need a graphics card. It came with some S3 card in it. I've already lost it. It was like 20 seconds, and it was just gone in the pile of junk. So, figured that'd be a good excuse to use this diamond card. I think I know already where I'm going to put this computer in here. But I'll get back to you in a second. So let me get this stuck in and pull out a keyboard and plug her into one of the monitors, and we'll see if it works. Alright, so we've got the S3 diamond in there, got the power supply hooked up, got the CMOS battery. I haven't even looked at what RAM is in it, or literally anything else on here, so here goes nothing. No smoke, but no beep either. Oh cool. Alright, well, ta-da! Run setup. Default values I kind of expected. 80 megs of memory. What we got here? Serial, parallel. Just gonna leave all this for now. Alright, I mean, let's see if it saves. Kind of an older BIOS on that. 94, huh? Well, it should make a decent DOS machine, although 80 megs is very overkill. Okay, so the checksum's already bad. Let me pull that chip out and see if I've got something else that I can throw in there. Alright, so we tried a couple different RTCs that I had laying around. Ended up with that clock chip in there, which I think I bought on eBay a while ago. I have some others that I saw there's some stuff on, but figured why not. The rest of this is so freaking clean. And I figured out the beep issue too. It's called didn't wait long enough. I noticed with the clock chip in, the 640K of system RAM is showing up as well now, so it should beep here. There we go. Very nice. So I guess next step is figure out how to get a drive in here. Possibly even a floppy, because I don't know if it's going to boot to CD now that I think about it. So let me get it cleaned up and let's see where we can get. Alrighty, so I grabbed a floppy drive off the shelf up here, and for one of the first times ever, the first floppy drive I grabbed worked great, no issues. So there we go. Got some precision redneck engineering holding it in, because I can't be bothered to do it better than that. And honestly, this is probably going to hold it better than anything else I can come up with. So there are just two slot covers. I have a whole box of 800 of them, so don't get mad. There's one on this side folded over, and there's one on the other side folded over, and that gives it something to kind of clamp to as a spacer up here. These two hold it on different sections of the drive, different spots of this. Go all the way through it, and through some holes on this side, and then this one keeps it from sliding backwards. And from the front, hopefully you won't know the difference. And the best part about doing something like this is that when you post it on YouTube, you get all sorts of comments about how much better you can do it. So there you go. Somebody will come up with a different idea for me. But for now, this one took me all of 3 minutes, and I don't care. So I also threw a 3-com PCI network card in there. I don't remember if it works or not, but whatever, we'll give it a shot. I think I might have a USB card to throw in here as well. And the reason I threw this floppy drive in here, I can't remember if I even put this on video, but it does not boot to CD. It does not have support for it in the BIOS, so I just made a quick boot disk on a floppy here. And now I get to go find out why my server is not connecting, my retro server. It's I recently replaced it. It's in here. But that computer over there can ping the router and it can't ping the server, so I guess I get to figure out why that's not working. So that's pretty cool. I'll be back. Alright, well, when I did my wonderful zip tying job, I smushed a cable in this and seemed to have messed something up. It no longer boots, so found another floppy drive that seems to work great, and well, grabbed a random hard drive off the shelf and listen to this thing. I mean, supposedly it tests just fine, but holy crap, man, I don't know. May have to find another hard drive. I'm not sure where I'm going to find another one though. They're kind of hard to track down. Alright, well, a couple developments. I tried a bunch of different hard drives. At first I thought it was that one I was working with, but no. Turns out this hard drive right here, the 113 megabyte Connor, is the only one I have that the BIOS likes. Although I did just out of the corner of my eye spot this Seagate right here, which, what is that, 3 gigabytes? That ought to do it. Let me see if this one will work. Well, on the other hand, since this is going to be a DOS only machine, maybe we ought to just commit to that and save the Seagate for the next 95 build on a restricted BIOS like this. So I think we're going to do that. We'll use a Connor drive that's, I mean, so I looked at it before I went to format it. It looked like it did have some Windows and DOS stuff on it. It's not that far off. I mean, the one I was going to use, that's actually, it has the same date code as the motherboard. It has this WD Caviar that's 340 megabytes, so it's not, I mean, it's not that far off of what you would have had at the time, I think. I think it'll be pretty close. It's kind of a weird era. I mean, this would have been the very last of the Pentium machines right before Windows 95 came out, so I really like how the case looks though. Oh look, I got the hard drive light in correct direction. The turbo stuff isn't hooked up. Power, there's no LED. I can't decide if I care or not. This was supposed to be kind of a low effort build, just on a whim, you know, just because I need something that's not a complicated one and I need to get back into this YouTube video stuff. Oh, check this out. Sorry. So I got it plugged into my meter, 40 watts. This thing uses pretty much no power compared to a lot of modern gaming machines, so retro computing, not an uneconomic hobby, right? Something like that. Anyway, so got to rebuild my little zip tie mount thing after this, and I'll go ahead and get the oh, I also threw a USB card in here, so I'll pick out a sound card, probably ESS, just because, or maybe, well, a drive this old is bound to have some bad sectors, right? So okay, well, looks like it formatted anyway. $6K in bad sectors. That's not too bad. Well, I'll get DOS installed on it, and then I'm probably just going to plug it into a USB disk and copy my entire 486 drive over, just for the hell of it. Get it booting right away, and then we'll get we'll get the USB set up. We'll get a sound card set up, The universal sound card drivers, I've got a big stack of ISA plug and play cards right here actually on the floor, which is a great place for them. It's where everybody wants their sound cards. So yeah, we might just end up using, like, try out this ALS card. The ESS ones just have just way better, like, FM synth, I guess. I don't know. I gotta have at least one. We'll look through it and we'll figure it out. I don't know, man. Just getting the last few things buttoned up here. Got an Aztec card. I got a couple of these in a junk pile the other day. But supposedly these have really good FM synth support, so that's gonna go in here. The Sound Blaster support isn't great, but I don't care. So, I mean, it's gonna be better than that ALS thing I was gonna use. So, gonna throw that guy in, and I'll use that as an excuse to test out my USB drivers, make sure they're all working. It looked like it was picking up this card just fine. In a great shock to absolutely nobody, the CD drive is having issues, so I don't know if it's the drive or the drivers. I don't really care. I don't use CD games. So I think what we're gonna do is throw this card in there, and you've noticed I've taken out some slots here, and that's because I don't like the fact that these older machines get all of their airflow through just that one fan. So I know it's only sucking 40 watts right now, but it still has to put 40 watts of heat somewhere. And I'm trying to get this to last forever, so I also went ahead and stuck a little bit of thermal paste under the heatsink. I know technically it doesn't need it, but any little bit helps, right? So just gonna zip tie a quick fan back in here, I hope, and hook it up to the same 12 volt line here. Throw this Aztec card in, and I am just gonna test that with the universal plug and play sound card drivers, or initialize it. Wow, words. I'm gonna try this out. Once I have it working and make sure that the USB works, the video works, this works, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the case on, and we'll show you where it's gonna go from now on. Oh yeah, I also re-zip tied this and mounted the hard drive. Like I said, low effort. Okay, well, here's basically the finished product. It's got a crystal plug and play sound card in there because this guy just was not working with the Sound Blaster side of things. And then I threw another Aztec in there, and it was terrible, so figured I'd give the crystal a shot. I don't really have any other machines running a crystal sound card right now, so it's a little chunky sounding, but it sounds okay, especially when you turn the volume down. It just came out extremely loud. It has a really loud amplifier on it. It's probably meant for, well, see, that's the thing. I thought it was meant for the standalone speakers, but it seems to not be. So last thing is, I'm going to see if I can get a green LED to fit in there, and then I'm going to put the case on, and then we'll go set it up. Okay, so I have it over here next to my 486, which is this guy. And there's actually another 486 right here, which is a large size tower, and as you can see, it doesn't really fit under here. It was deeper than I thought, and it also doesn't work. I mean, it kind of works, but it's got an awesome little LED display on there, but that is all it will do no matter what I do. I can't figure it out. It's driving me absolutely crazy. But anyway, while that doesn't work, I figure I might as well put that in, which is going to fit there a lot better. And that'll kind of complete this setup. So what I've got over here, these four machines are all, well, three of these machines are plugged into this monitor, which is a 640 by 480 Dell that came with a 286. So this is a 286, this is a 486, and then I'll have a Pentium plugged into it, and then I've also got a little motherboard right there. You can kind of see it running some sort of APU. I think it's turned off because of a power outage right now, and which is ironic because basically what this does is it's just got Linux on it, and it runs some monitoring stuff. Okay, so I've got it plugged in down here. And I've just got a little USB extension cord going to the top here, since I don't have a network card or anything in it at the moment. So that makes this section pretty complete for now. There are a few things I still have yet to set up. I need to put another serial mouse in. I was going to make some sort of data switch, but I think at this point I'm just going to have, you know, more serial mice and tuck them away. I mean, data switches are nice. I do like KVMs. I'll talk about that whole project later. But it's just too many variables, and I don't use it often enough for it to be worth the trouble sometimes. I do have a poor man's audio switch here, which is basically just one of these is on the 46 and one of them's on the Pentium, and I plug in the one I want to listen to. Crazy. The nice thing is, if these ever go bad, I have a lot of replacements. If these ever go bad, I buy them in $20 pack, or in 20 packages of 20. Wow, I can't talk today. Anyway, so you can see one of the issues I'm having here, and that's that the game port has an IRQ conflict, and I don't know why. But so far I just skip it and everything seems to work okay. The CD-ROM also doesn't work regardless of what drivers I use, which is fine. At the end of the day, DOS loads and plays games. So there is one more issue, and that's that when I load the driver for the oh gosh, for the USB device, it doesn't load into high memory, it loads into conventional and uses it all up. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to load that into high. After that, I think we're pretty much good to go at this point. We can play some games. That's about it, really. Alright, well, the lights are off. We got it set up. I did run some benchmarks on it. I'm sorry for the extra noise. This is Texas, so that's an air conditioner, and it's just gonna be on. There's nothing I can do about it. Otherwise, I'd be dead in 5 minutes. So I think it was 107 degrees today. I think it was just. I grew up in Utah. This is way too hot and humid. So anyway, if you can stand the AC noise, we're gonna play some games. I got the sound working. What else did I do? I copied a few things over. This hard drive is very slow. It's also, I mean, it's really not, it's not the best match for this computer. We'll just put it that way. I may pull, I think I've got a 4 gig hard drive in that 286 right there, and I might pull that out and swap them eventually. But for now, we're just going to leave it. It's not a big deal. I got other machines I can run Windows on and stuff. So this is definitely, having come out right before Windows was a thing. I mean, Windows 3.1 was a thing for sure, but it's a little slow for a lot of 3D stuff, which is fine. This will be really good, fast DOS stuff. It gets 60-ish frames per second in Doom, or more, probably more. It scores higher than the 486-100 right there in Doom. Excuse me. I can play Quake at 30 frames per second in the lowest software mode, but pretty good. So I think it'll just be a basic DOS gaming machine. Honestly, nothing too fancy. Anything slower than that will either run on the 286 or the 486 right here, so I'm good with that. Let me just see if I can get the screen stop flickering for you, and we'll get back to that. Well, I don't know that it's going to get any better with the screen, so you're just going to have to put up with that. If it's too bad, I'm just going to skip to the end of the video, honestly. I want to play it on the CRT, that's where it's going to live. I'm not going to drag it over to the LCD just for this. We'll start out with an older game. Good grief. That head took forever to kill. Well, it does have a little bit of weird. The DOS compatibility on the Sound Blaster compatibility on that crystal card isn't the best. So let's try something a little, like I'd say a level up from Doom. So Monkey Island won't run at all. Too fast. That's why I have a 486. But this is really the kind of game that I was hoping to play on this thing. Look how slow it loads though. I think the 486 actually loads faster. You like that lag while it's loading the next texture? It's hard drive though. Is that 3 bodies? Yeah, it is. Okay, we're good there. Whoops. There it is. I died. Sloppy. So slow. See, I can play Doom on full screen. Absolutely no issues, nice and smooth. Hold up a sec. Well, seems like it's working well. It's a couple days later, and I guess the only issue I really have with it at this point, I mean, other than the hard drive, or the CD-ROM drive not working, is the hard drive. That 113 megabyte Conner hard drive is extremely slow and not much space. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is it worth pulling this out, replacing it with a different drive, or should I just leave it in there since it's compatible with it? So that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know if there's anything else in here that you'd like to see worked on, or what you'd like to see in the future. Thanks.